Hello everybody, hope you're all keeping really well and welcome back to a brand new video on the Infinite Baffle channel. Now this week is a little bit of an anomaly. We don't normally cover the same manufacturer in back-to-back videos unless there's really special circumstances with new stock coming out and things of that nature, but this week we're taking a look at another Audio Technica product, having looked at the SP3X little desktop speakers last week. Today we're looking at the other end of the spectrum when it comes to Audio Technica, the limited edition ATH AWKG headphones, and we are very fortunate to be taking a look at these today because not only are they a limited edition model from Audio Technica, but in the UK you can actually only get these from Audio Affairs, so extremely privileged to be listening to these and giving you our thoughts on these today. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up on it, make sure to subscribe to the channel for weekly hi-fi content. Your support on the channel as always is massively appreciated it. But without any further ado, let's get stuck into it. When it comes to the design and aesthetics of the AWKGs, I've got to say I was incredibly impressed from the moment that we saw the outer box all the way to the moment that we actually held the headphones in our hands for the very first time. As part of the Narukami range that Audio Technica offer, what these headphones represent is the highest level of craftsmanship and performance, and also the synergy of nature and technology coming together. And that's why they've got these Karogaki pads on the side, which I think look absolutely stunning. And again, when you hold the headphones in your hand for the very first time, the build quality is also just noticeably absolutely superb. You can tell that these are a product that Audio Technica really have gone the extra mile with. At this point in the video, we'll put some of the tech specs in the background for you guys to have a look at. We've just mentioned how lightweight these are, coming in, as you can see, at just shy of 400 grams. They are a closed back dynamic driver design, and it's actually somewhat ironic that we'd even discuss the tech specs when it comes to a headphone like this, because the Narukami range from Audio Technica's point of view, what they say is that it's a headphone and a range that's supposed to be judged by experiencing the product for yourself, for listening to them, rather than just looking at numbers on a page. And whilst I do think that's the case with a lot of hi-fi, you know, you can do as much reading up as you want, but you'll never truly be actually listening and experiencing the product for yourself. That is something that Audio Technica really push with this whole Narukami range. At this point in the video, I will put the unboxing in the background for you guys to see as well. I mean, as an experience when it comes to opening these up for the very first time, second to none. I mean, you can see next to me here, you've got the wonderful white box, the crate after that as well, which it looks fantastic. It feels a little bit cheaper than it looks, but still, I love how you've got the whole theme with it running alongside the Narukami range. Narukami is the Japanese god of thunder, so there's a lot of Japanese leaning design when it comes to the packaging, which I really like. When you open them up for the first time, you're obviously greeted with the headphones themselves and then a couple of cables. There's a 6.35mm and a not an optical cable, a balance cable as well. I will say that the cables are fine, they're okay, they're solid, but when you consider how all out Audio Technica have gone when it comes to the packaging, the fact that it's part of the Narukami range, I think they could have put something a little bit more high level in there. The cables are fine, they're not bad cables, they're just okay. And again, I think given how they've gone the extra mile with everything else here, it wouldn't have been the end of the world to include a bit more better quality cables as well. But yeah, as a whole, really nice experience opening these up for the first time. One thing I will say is that Hi-Fi Man are another company that do a fantastic job of presentation when it comes to opening up a product for the first time. You get a lovely hardback manual with a lot of their headphones, and I think that would have been something that would have fitted in really well with these headphones here, and it's a shame they couldn't include something like that, but still, overall, great presentation and a wonderful design. So the most important part of the video, the thing that many of you will be tuning in for, is the performance and sound of the headphones. And again, as we've mentioned, the Narukami range, one that Audio Technica say themselves, needs to be experienced to be judged, not just on paper, but listening for yourself. So just how was my experience listening to these headphones? Well, we'll start off by talking about the comfort, which is going to be slightly different for everybody. You know, everybody's got different ears, everybody's got a different shaped head. Your you've heard that all before, but for me, these were absolutely phenomenal when it came to fit and comfort. We've got the really lightweight frame, we've already mentioned that, coming in at just under 400 grams, and the soft, large cups were just a fantastic match. I mean, we were listening to these for long periods of time, and it got to a point where I don't want to say you forgot that they were on your head, because they are still a fairly chunky headphone, but for the size of them, the fit and the comfort was absolutely fantastic, and I genuinely think that you could listen to these for hours and hours on end and it just would not be an issue at all. When listening to the AWKGs, I should mention that we used our trusty name Unity Atom Headphone Edition, and all of the listening that we did was via the Tidal streaming service. Talking a bit more specifically about the sound of the headphones themselves, I absolutely adore the way that these headphones have been tuned. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody, but if you watched any content on this channel in the past, you will know that I'm a big fan of vocals being at the forefront, in the spotlight of the presentation, and that is exactly what the AWKGs do. You've got the vocals at the front and everything else seemingly wrapping around it, and I think it sounds absolutely amazing. Now, that presentation isn't going to be for everybody, but if you're someone that likes your vocals to be in the center of the presentation, the thing that you're drawing the most detail from almost, I think you will absolutely love these headphones. You could be fooled into thinking that because the vocals take such prominence in the presentation of the AWKGs that maybe it lacks in some other areas, but honestly, I did not find that to be the case whatsoever. It still has this fantastic, punchy, grunty low end. It's got a fantastic bass extension to it as well, and also an incredible amount of detail. We listen to a wide range of music when we listen to these headphones, as we always like to do here on the channel, and it seemed to shine whether we're listening to something like Gregory Alan Isaacov's Big Black Car, which is a really laid-back, folky, acoustic track, or something from the likes of Dochi that I've been listening to recently, which is more hip-hoppy with that punchy bass in the background. It was a fantastic match for both of those. One thing that I will say is that I think that these headphones lean slightly on the brighter side, and I think because of the level of detail that you get with the AWKGs, that combined with the fact that they lean that way, they're not massively bright, but they do definitely lean that way, means that I think some people could potentially find them to be a little bit fatiguing. Now, I've got to stress again, for me, that was not the case whatsoever. I mean, it's almost like these things were tuned for me. I absolutely love the staging and the presentation on these, but again, I don't think they're going to be for everybody. Another artist that I thought sounded fantastic through these headphones is a band called Honeyglaze, and they're almost like, it's a female vocalist that's almost spoken word, not quite spoken word, but then it's got a lot of rocky elements going on in the background. There's a lot of bass guitar being played, and I summed it up really well earlier. You've kind of got the vocals prominently in the center of the presentation at the forefront, but then everything else kind of backs it up really well and wraps around the music. And again, with Honeyglaze, I thought that worked really well. Overall, I've got to say, I mean, I feel incredibly lucky to have had the chance to experience these headphones, because again, we mentioned it at the start of the video, they're a limited edition headphone, only available in Audio Affair in the UK. So to even get the chance to get my hands on these, I felt very privileged, and they did not disappoint. I mean, it really did feel like these were tuned for the kind of sound that I personally really enjoy. The prominent forward vocals, great level of detail, and a lovely smooth low end backing it up as well. I think the way these are presented is absolutely fantastic, not only in the sound, but also in the way of when you first get them, the boxes, all that stuff. It feels like a truly unique, special experience. The only downside with them coming in at £3,000 is that they've got the stiff competition of the Focal Stellias, another fantastic close back headphone. You guys know how much I love Focal and their sound signature, but to me, these are at least on par. I think they'd be a little less universal. I think, you know, if you've got 100 people in a room, more people would potentially lean towards the Focals, because I think they're a little bit more neutral, a little bit more balanced, whereas these lean a little bit more bright. But for me, these are absolutely exceptional headphones. And if you do get the chance to come in and listen to these, you should definitely take up that opportunity. I'm really intrigued to know if you've been lucky enough to listen to a pair of the AWKGs. Let me know your thoughts on the headphones in the comment section down below. What was your experience like as a whole, and did you enjoy them as much as I did? Let me know in that comment section, and that's just about going to round up the video. If you did enjoy again, make sure to leave a thumbs up, and we'll catch you all in next week's video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.